Hi everyone, I am back with another journaling page, and before we start I will show you. I just wrote down a little bit about the evening at that building, so I didn't add anything else. It's the same as you saw on my last video, and on this day we have come to the 6th of December, so let's just glue that down, number 6. And as you see, I wrote down bad planning, and that's exactly what it was. On this day I had to go to the doctor's office to take some blood samples, and I don't need an appointment to do that. I can just drop by and say or deliver the papers that says which blood samples I had to take. And I know their opening hours, of course, and I also know when they have lunch, so I have planned I was the only person on the planet, of course, that if I got there 10 minutes maybe before lunch, then I had a good time and I could take my blood samples and off I go, because I want to be so effective all the time. And I have this tea, strawberry and vanilla full, because when I got there I sort of felt like a fool, because of course there are other people in line. Cheers to that. So I got there, and the girl said, you have to wait until after lunch, because we don't have time to take your blood samples now, and lunch is half an hour. And then oh no, sitting there half an hour or a little bit more to wait, no, I'm not doing that. So I decided to drive into town. This is very close to the town, and maybe buy some Christmas gifts or whatever. And I was brainstorming where should I go. And while I talk, I have this sort of string with this sequence on it, and I thought it would be fun, like decoration, and they can sort of we can imagine that these are blood drops. Drops of blood, because I did go back and take my blood samples. So I will just cut this, and I have a tiny attacher, so while I talk I will just staple this down actually. So I drove into town, parked my car, and I drove past the thrift shop. It's the Salvation Army, has a second-hand shop, it's called. Okay, so I decided to go in there, and that was not a good idea, because of course I would spend more than half an hour in that shop. It's just a small shop, and usually I don't find very many things there, but because they have most of all clothings and some things like this and that, but not crafty items. They can have some game pieces and some vintage books if you are lucky, but I haven't quite found very much in there, but I went inside and went through the shop. Nah, nothing fancy schmancy that I wanted to buy. And on my way out, I found there was a little table and a chair, and I was looking. I sat down and started looking through some books, and then I discovered this basket with some ribbons and Christmas cards, and so I thought, let's look through these Christmas cards. Of course, I always have to buy something, and I found some fun Christmas cards. I bought those. I don't think they are vintage, but I like them. And then I discovered this plastic bag, and it was sealed, so I couldn't see everything what was inside, but I saw it was some ribbons and buttons, so I grabbed it. And I also found these spools of ribbons, and this was, there's not much on this, but I like this pattern here, and actually I want to have a piece of this on my journal, because I think it's pretty. And maybe we should just add some of this as well while we are doing this. And then I found some of this paper. It's cats, and this got some water staining on it, but it was just the first page, and there are several pages, and I do think these are vintage. The paper has some texture in it, and this is stationery, I believe you call this. So there are several sheets of this one, and I love kitty cats. And this was pretty too. And I also found this, and that's some greeting cards maybe, with these tiny envelopes that I love using in my journals. So I grabbed those, and let's see what's in. I will share what's in this bag. So this is hemming web. I believe you use your iron and it melts between fabric as sort of like a glue, I think, and some elastics. This is vintage. This is probably not. And some satin trim, and some more. These are not vintage either, but it's a pretty cream color. And there was some buttons. These were cool. I love these. I didn't see those. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is not bought in my country. It has a dollar sign. Oh, it's so fun when I find things here that are obviously from abroad. And this is, I don't know what you call this ribbon here, but you use it on the edge of the fabric. I think you stitch it, and oh, I don't know the name in English, but it's red, Christmas red. And this was fun. this is also something you can iron on. You can, and these letters and a pen, you can write your name, for example, and then you can label your clothings. So this looks vintage too, I'm not sure. And this ribbon was, someone has removed it from something. You can see that because it has these threads, but it's soft and I love the color. And also all these buttons in a little tin, all kinds of yummy buttons, and I do believe most of these are vintage. So of course when I got back to the doctor's office, I had been away for more than 1 hour. Oh my gosh, I do this all the time. And I'm not sure how I will decorate. There's plenty of space to do some journaling here, but kind of boring. And I was wondering, no, I will just write something down, and I had a sticker too. Let me see if I can find it. It's quite messy around me. I have been doing so many videos, and I'm confusing myself. Where did the sticker go? It was a sticker of Santa, because the look on his face, here he is. Because I felt so much like a fool, because I should have just waited, right? Because and he have this comforting look on his face, like, oh, it's going to be okay. So I wanted him to be on my page to make me feel better. And what maybe he can have these hearts coming out of him, behind him. A really warm-hearted guy. So I will cut this. And not sure where. I love this ribbon, gold and green, and the pattern. Can I? This is how it goes when you don't plan beforehand. So I think this is enough. Maybe I will glue some buttons on somewhere. Maybe one on the top. I need glossy accent. Let's see if it has the will to cooperate with me today. Yes, thank you. A little button. One more. Maybe Santa need a button too. Not only one. couple of different buttons, maybe one more. Love them. And what I was thinking, just to make this adventure a little fun for you and for me, is to have a little sort of giveaway. If you want to win a little prize pack, just it won't be much, this is just for fun, everyone. But if you would like to receive some buttons and some different kinds of trims and papers and ribbons, the things I just showed you from my haul at the Goodwill, is that the same? I have heard that many times. Goodwill, is that the same as the Salvation Army? If you want to win a little tiny package, I will send it in the mail, but you have to guess what did I pay for these things, because I have the receipt here, so I can show you when I draw a winner. Let's leave this open until let's leave it open for a week. Wednesday, next Wednesday. So if you would like to guess, you have to guess in Norwegian crowns, because that's my currency. So if you have a number in your head, go to a currency converter and find out what that is in. I will write it down for you. Norwegian crowns, and it's shortened like this. How much do you think I spent? I had to pay for these goodies, and the one who had the closest number will win a small little fun package of things from a Norwegian thrift store. So thank you again for watching, and I bet I will be back soon. Bye bye.